So hopefully you guys can hear me now. Rob has just dropped in to tell me that there was no sound, so I do apologise. I think what it is where we do the lives on Saturdays, put it on the mute for a minute. That's what happened, so I'll try it again. Thank you, darling. So Mav, very good evening, and Paul Woods and Alan Reynolds, and early for a change, and Paul is actually back in 30 minutes. We'll have done it by then, won't you? I wish. So yes, what I think it might be is when we do like the 1 minute warnings on RGJ, we obviously turn the mic on mute while we just have whatever we've done in the background. So the only thing I can think is it must just keep it as muted. So that's possibly what has happened. Yeah, it's the only thing I can think of. So, oh, pardon me. Now, I have also found out with the music-wise that the tracks that I used to use on TikTok, you can actually use on YouTube. So I'm going to try that out tonight, because it came up to say that it says it's a copyright warning, but then it says it isn't. And the music is actually allowed on YouTube. So I'm going to try that playlist tonight, because I had one or two that had accidentally come in when it had gone to the shuffle. Had turned that off. But so I'm going to try that playlist tonight, which I did always enjoy using. And obviously we'll see if anything comes up, if it's particular songs it doesn't like or not. I don't know. So I'll have to find out. Like I said, it's not a point. This channel's probably never going to be monetized anyway. I don't think I'm going to get to that, but that is obviously the plan. And then obviously, I'm saying obviously a lot, I need to get the TikTok going as well. Yep, so that's on 100%, so I can plug my phone in. That's the only problem when you use your phone, is you've used it during the day and then you're there using it in the evening for videos. But I'm glad you guys can actually hear me now. So going forward, but yes, Rob isn't actually down here. It is quite cold in the shed tonight. We just haven't been out really all day, so. And I think we've come out as it's starting to get colder, so fighting in the spell. It's only 16 degrees in here. I'm not feeling it as much, but I've got my thick fluffy blanket slash hoodie thing on, so that's probably why I feel so warm. So let me just sort that out. And then hopefully let's just find out where my volume button is. How's that with the music, guys? Please do let me know. So again, I haven't actually done anything since the live. I need to try and get more into it. And start doing more again during the week. I just haven't felt up to it this week. And we've still got to film for RGJ as well. So that will be Thursday. Experiment here, guys, for view, so I am occasionally catching the camera. I think that's where I can go with that. Right, let's put that in and see how it goes. Has she got enough pencil and charcoal? I have to paint you like one of the French women. And damn, very good evening. So I'm just getting the TikTok set up as well, guys. That's why I've gone a bit quiet, not really doing anything for a second. It mentioned this flyer thing, but I have no idea where that is. Let's just go live on that. And I've obviously got to wait for it to come up on the screen so I can get the comments up on there. So just bear with me, guys. Let's mute that as well, because I obviously do not want a definite thing on here. So there we go. Let's see if I can make it. No, just does not like any smaller than that. So let's get that over there, because that's the bit I'm worried about, is the chat. Show you guys, and there we go. So let's get stuck in. And I've put the paper somewhere and I don't know. There it is. So the question is, guys, do we go on the, do we continue with the smoke, or do we go back to the wagons? I am liking how the smoke's coming out. I think once I get some colour around here as well, it's really going to make the loco stand out. So like I said in the video, I wasn't sure whether it's worth me actually starting off at the side and working my way over. For some reason, unfortunately, I'm battling with, for some reason, it does not like the bright light of the lamp. Even if I change it to a different colour, it doesn't really like it. It puts it as, for some reason, that's a bit better. Let's see if I can try and bring it down in the settings, maybe. If I bring my white balance down. Nope, not there. That's okay. Problem is, I don't want to make it too bright that you guys can't see it. So that has at least brought the shading in a bit better around the logo, hopefully. You can hear me repeating in the background. Oh, let me take a look. What about now, Dan? Yeah, Alan Robin Valley is actually Rob's personal profile. That's what that is. So that'll, just so you know if you didn't, that is actually my Rob. That's just his personal. Nothing wrong with sound. Okay. But yeah, I have found by starting to do shading around here. See, the problem is I need this light for me to see what I'm doing. It's just the camera doesn't like it. I don't think it would be better from the other side really anyway. I don't know why it does that. It just does not like. I found this the only. I can't hear it now. No, strike that. Yes, I can. Well, I did. There was a mic auxiliary on. No, phone's not on, Rob. The phone's on TikTok. So, yeah, the one thing I found with this camera is it just does not like white, whether it's the little bits that we've done or not. And again, just then repeating like it's live from another device watching the stream. I've got no sound on the computer. Let's try that. Desktop audio was on. No, TV's not. It's muted, Rob. Let's make sure that. Then YouTube, I've only got the comments open. Oh, I didn't mean to minimise that. Now it's stopped. Weird. I have to keep an eye on it. But yeah, the one thing I cannot combat is this bright white for some reason. It's not showing it on the TikTok, weirdly. It's not doing that at all. I think it's possibly something I can look in for this camera. I don't know. But hopefully as things fill in, it will settle it down. I'm just not sure what I can do to combat it, unfortunately. Because the problem is, if I move it away, there's just, well, it's completely off it now and it still doesn't. But I do need the light for me to draw, so I think it just reflects off the paper and doesn't like it. So I'm thinking of just adding first an initial shading around by our train. Let me see if the other side will do it. I highly doubt it. Why is it all my wires have decided to tangle up tonight? I'm just going to unplug that for a minute. That's really what you wanted to see, isn't it? So yeah, unfortunately, wherever I put this, it just does not like the right white. So it might be worth looking into if there's a setting that can bring it down, but the actual camera settings I have tried and it just doesn't like it. Because for once, it actually goes on TikTok that the phone doesn't have the issues. I think it's the camera just being ultra sensitive. So a little late due to enjoying food too much. Evening all, and especially hi to our host. The coffee shop tea room is open. So you're the barman and RGJ Gav, and then you'll open the tea room for me at the Portraits. Is that what it is? I have liked what you've done there, to be honest. So yeah, what I think I'm going to do is just get a little bit of shading around here. And then that way I can start to actually make a difference and really start to get those lines out. Again, this is just purely excess graphite. It's a nice tea room, just not sure about the host. He appears to be wearing a summer dress with a little pinny and curlers in. Yeah, smells sophisticated. Hey, can we turn it into an animal cafe though? I've got to admit, I do like the thought of like these cat and dog cafes. I wouldn't mind that. I don't mind my uniform, but my heels are deadly. So I'm just going to go in. I actually feel like doing this has actually made it worse. Let's see if I zoom in, guys, if it will work. I'm just messing around a bit here, but I just want to try and get a better look for you. No, that's just making it. What was your favourite aroma? I've always been partial to lavender, Gav, to be honest. Lavender or vanilla. And then occasionally I do like the cherry smells you can get, but always like lavender. That's done a little something, I think, as I'm starting to get the colour in here. it's nice to, I'm reading that again. Well, you did find me only purple 8-inch open till hills, and you know the boss has a favourite colour as purple. I knew I'd seen them before. Lavender it is, a mix of mince pies as it's getting near Christmas. Oh, I like that, Gav, I really do. But yes, of course there would be purple in the... Maybe that's why I like lavender as well. I don't know, but I do enjoy the smell. Just Rob isn't as partial to candles. I used to always have them in mine. And then you've got a bouncy one like Morgan as well. So there's not much at this point that's going to come in, but I think as well, just to combat that brightness, I'm just going to try and get some of it, you know, some kind of colour onto the paper. And that should hopefully avoid some of the bright whiteness for you guys on YouTube. So I actually might need to zoom that out a touch at the moment. Otherwise I'm going to start doing bits and then you're going to lose where I am. I'm getting there slowly. See, there might be there is a few lines already in the part of the background. Does that mean Rob's roasting chestnut? Yeah, exactly. Ron channel, Dan. Like I say, I know it's a bit weird that we don't have the innuendos and that, but Rob and Brian were right the other night. This is a slightly different. It's more like your hair down and... You'll notice I am holding this differently as well. I really want minimal pressure on, just to get that slight coverage. I'll let your hair down, channel. You and me. You meant me. Does it look like I have hair? Yeah, true. I can get you a wig. Wear the wig on these lives, and then that's letting your hair down, isn't it? So some things with the drawing can actually be very, very quick, but I am hoping things like the background and that will take shorter time than the local in itself. Chair's noisy tonight, isn't it? Free lemon drizzle cake at the counter. That's fine, you can give that away. I'm not a fan of lemon things, so yeah. Free lemon drizzle cake. That's if Rob doesn't eat it all. He doesn't like this. My dad. My dad loves things like lemon meringue pies. It's a funny thing, if we ever go to a restaurant, my dad has things like sticky toffee pudding and I'll share it with him. It's just a thing we've done for years. Yeah, I've always pinched a bit of my dad's and he's pinched a bit of mine. And then we actually went out, what was it, last year I think? And they had no sticky toffee pudding. So Dad ordered the lemon meringue, so I didn't steal any. He made sure he stole plenty of my ice cream though. Is that looking much better for you guys? See, this is going to be more difficult in graphite, I find, to get this right. But that's why if, say I get a little bit thicker with a bit of a pencil, I'm not too bothered because it's going to give me that colour variation that I need. relax an evening, grows for the artist, easy background music playing, city skylines too, coffee and cake, perfect. Don't tell me you've got actual cake there with you, Gab, because I'm not going to like you anymore. If you were actually sitting there eating cake. I haven't got any of the apple pies in, you see. But this is definitely one of the easier bits of the picture. Lemon drizzle in 3 pieces. Ah, so that's why you mentioned the lemon drizzle. Although I do have the old faithful jammy dodgers, so I suppose I'm okay. Never go wrong with a jammy dodger. Even the doctor thought so. Oh, homemade by Mum, that's the best then, isn't it? Grace, you can't complain if Gavin does have cake. You've eaten cakes and biscuits on the lays before today, so it's his payback. Yeah, this is true. This is extremely true. I have been on live and just eaten. But then the live we did that Gav actually was here for, did I not get nuts? And as we always talk about them, I try to look for Bombay mix, but can you guarantee? Because I wanted them, and our shop used to do it. But because I suddenly wanted it, it was like, no, we haven't got any. I've been finding that a lot with the shop lately, actually. There's something I want or fancy or need, even a cleaning product. And I think, oh, the shop does it, go to it, and they no longer do it. So I've been having a lot of sod's law with that at the moment, to be honest. So down here does get a bit more interesting, because this is where you start to have things like the shadow. I might actually do this bit tonight then, probably not a bad idea. Just 2 secs, guys. I think that might be Rob or Man. Depending what's... No, it'll be Rob. Man won't be back from bingo yet, because it is a Tuesday night after all. I like what Gavin has said. So instead of a bar, this is the cafe. For the last 18 months I've been... Oh, were you just nipping in? Oh. No. I say, don't lock me in. My track habit with things like fire. We'll be able to get out then. So yeah, I could do what I suggested in the video and just kind of work on the side. The only thing is I realise for you guys that might not be the most exciting to watch. But it does mean slight moving of the cameras as well. And the problem is when I need this here, I need to be able to reach it for you guys to see it as well. But you can see like the indent lines, so I've got these because there is differences in shadows and things as well. So that is why that is there, is I did that as my guide. Again, like I said, it is things that I will do differently next time. I've learned, but this is all this was basically a learning curve and something new for me. I never expected to be doing it. So not too bad for being at work with a bunch of people who skive all the time.
So this is slightly darker, so I am going to put a bit more pressure here just to give me that line. Because like I always say, I do like to go up a gradient for the next bit. This again is going to be a slight challenge. Could it be indent? As I do this is when you can see that line appearing. And this is the combats I've had to do. Unfortunately, sorry guys, I need to bring the light in a bit more for me to see this a bit better. Once I've got these indent lines out of the way, I'll be fine. I've done quite a thick line there though. Bus driver and the amount of people just sat there behind me and did nothing all shift. I was like a glorified taxi driver and I'm not even that. So, light with the smoke. I might actually be able to keep with this. Stick with it for now. It just might mean it's a little bit darker than on the actual picture, but I am starting to get a feeling for these gradients now as well, now that I've done this a bit more. This has actually got something like a 6 gradient on. See at this point it's not 6. Let's just get some graphite from it, so I've got quite a bit. I can use that to my advantage. different ways and things should hopefully give me those textures that I'm trying to get out of this. I know your patience and talent. Thank you, Gav. It is appreciated. The reason I'm doing this bit first is this is the shadow for the train. A little bit dark. This is actually quite dark. I would say it's as dark as part of the train, actually, part of the lighter part of the train. Believe it or not. Scene in particular. You guys can see that actually, so now I'm getting it in. Oh, non-local artistry, nice, Grace. So yeah, it is. Some of this bits I do have a bit of practice in, obviously, with the horse, the one with the where you're looking at the eye, because that background is bubbles, or bubbles, or light reflections, whichever it is. So this is a bit more comfortable for me. Again, I'm only going in with a 2B still at this point. With a 2B, this is actually HB, sorry. I just want to make sure that line is low. I did stuff up here and it's actually, should have been something like this with the shape. I don't know what I was doing when I sketched it. Around the corner from Grace drifted myself. I'll say this one of my roots yet. Tracking system to update. Oops. Just to try and fill in that line. There we go. That's got that one. Because this has actually got a bit of point to it where I've sharpened it.
actually gone straight into the indent. Should be fine. while that still needs to go much darker, I'm going to do my usual and bring this down first. No, I might actually do this one more gradient. Yeah, I think I might actually bring the 2B out for this. Not do it too heavy at this point, but just start getting that darkness into it. Oh, Alan, darling, are you still in? Have you had a chance to have a go with a new paper yet? I'm looking forward to seeing what you're creating. I was just thinking, like you say, how durable this paper is, considering what I'm doing with it. For you, 6 are watching. Yeah, I think it varies. What it shows is actually people that comment, Mav, when you're quite busy with chat. But like I used to do with TikTok, although I suppose I'm back at that stage, even if people weren't watching, I'd still go live because it's a way of recording it and I need to draw it anyway. You'll be first. No, I'll look forward to it, Alan. I know what it's like though. Like I said, I haven't drawn since last week. My life takes over. We're getting close to that C word time. Already seen adverts are just filled with it already. Let's wait till. Oh, actually, no, we are past bonfire night. That's what I usually say. As soon as that's over, they're just everywhere. I don't tend to go in shops much anymore, so I don't tend to see that. We appreciate you for allowing us in, you pass on. No, it's appreciated you guys being there and supporting, Gav, because like I've always said, yes, I started this journey on TikTok, but it seems TikTok, especially because it's not a cute animal, there's no interest, but it's you guys that have really supported me, which out of the two, I think this one means so much more because it's my first commission, so there is that extra pressure there that, you know, if this goes horribly wrong, you know, at the end of the day, I'm being paid to produce this. I think that's partly why Stephen did ask me to do it, because he knew that way I probably never would have done something like this. But he did say to me, he said, I had every faith in you. So I need to try and get that shape back though, because I have lost that slightly. can see tonight I'm using a mix of ways to blend this out from blending stumps. I've gone blank on the name of this, whatever this is. I'm not American, it's not cute cotton bud. You know, and even my finger when it's needed. Every time I go a new gradient, I need to get it in those lines just to blend it out. The only thing I will remind you guys, Saturday wise, just nipping away from Mo needs another pumpkin spice coffee. You know, Saturday we plan to go live, but obviously it is all about William. So if we're not back in time, we will just do another one. Maybe even on the usual Tuesday. I think we've done that before. Or if we've missed one, we've just on a Tuesday or something. I guess that's to go with a slice 2 of lemon drizzle cake, yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some colour back in there now. Again, just waste gradient, and look, it's straight in. And we at least have a touch of colour in there now. And again, I can use the rest of that around. This is why sometimes I don't like cleaning my blending stumps, especially if, you know, I'm working on the same gradient or building it up. But especially for processes like this, it really can make the difference. So. Verbal ones. Way too crisp. I could touch up, but you know what? Shadows never look exactly the same, only a rough shape, so.
who wants are to repeat a multitude of other channels.
Yeah, I get that, Dan. That's, you know, I know we did it, but I think sometimes the time lapse kind of helps, because I don't think people need a tutorial on how to ballast, especially those on our channel. There's just no need for it at all. So there will still be a white line here. The reason is I kind of added a rough border line. Like I said, it's not perfect. In future I will try and do a proper border, but I made a gap there, so at least if it's going to be put in a frame or something, there's a bit of a gap there already, so if they do have to come into the picture, you're not losing too much. And at least the logo at the back, it's not right down to the end, so it's a slight border, but I have a feeling I've done it wrong. I have a feeling I've not done it big enough. You know, I am half tempted at the end of it just to fill it in, just in case, you know, I manage to get a frame that it literally, a frame that's made for A3 paper. I really don't know at this point. Again, it's all been a learning curve. Dan, I don't really need that on here, buddy. Oh, sorry, I just caught what you said at the bottom and I was like, huh? That's definitely nothing to do with it. But like I said, it's slowly building. It wasn't it to get anyone. I said about we have a channel. No, I get that. No, I get that. It is just a discussion point. There is lots of ballast, and obviously, I think what makes mine unique is obviously because I use my tweezers, don't I? That became a joke. But I think for us, I don't know. I know some time lapse, but I think we do majority of ours. I don't know how many others do. But guys, talking of art, have you checked out Wayne Model Builder's latest video? I'm just having a break for a second. You guys can obviously, you know, but Wayne has released his latest video on the Hawk for our layout, so, and I do like how he does his videos, to be honest. I really do. I admire him. You know, a black background is certainly a lot better than me just having everything there, so. As I'm constantly having to remind myself, Dan, this isn't an RGJ. Yeah, that's all because of what you mentioned after. I get why you mentioned it, Dan, because of obviously your last live. But obviously just not on this channel, that's all. We know it's relaxed. I hope you get what I mean on it. Obviously, if you'd have said it on RGJ, you know it wouldn't have been a problem. It's just even words like that, an artist might read that and think, why are we talking about that? So maybe that's where I'm going wrong with ballasting. I must get some purple. Yes! Didn't you know, Al, the best way to do ballasting is with purple tweezers? So I'm going to bring this a bit darker because I'm realising this is still way too light. I think I want to get this kind of like the background, and then this is obviously darker because this is the object shadowing. I've mentioned. Oh, thank you, Gav. But yeah, he has done the next installation of the hawk as well for us. And it kind of links in because it is artsy. The details he does on it is phenomenal. It's like you with your building, Gav. Oh, yeah. Violin and everything as well. It's just all that detail that goes into it. Did that a bit too much there, but that will just add a bit of a flair to it maybe. So I am going a bit harder in now with this 2B. The trick I always say is going lighter because you can always go in darker. It's a pain to remove the darkness sometimes if you go too much. And I will tidy that up in a second. And then I've got to sort out these threaded rails because I did make a bit of a mess up with them. But how I'm trying to get this to the right gradient is sorry guys, this is the TikTok because I've not, probably because I've got no comments or anything. It wants a thing. A model railway built a rake of ballast wagon. He made them so they actually worked. It was pulled along. We should make a video of YouTube. Yeah, that was actually quite cool. Using your train running to get it down. I think we had them up here ballasting a couple of months back now. Putting new ballast down because when we went to see the loco in the dog and it looked like fresh ballast and things. I'm intrigued how your background is going to unfold. So yeah, this is just for shadow at the minute, but I think this is like the grassy area, but the rails, I've made such a mess of them that I really need to figure out which ones are actually the rails and which are just wrong lines that I did. But again, that's possibly going to lead me to issues with indents.
ready. Let's put some more of this background in. Hopefully she won't fold. She'll end up with creases. Oh, don't. This is the thing, it's so hard, isn't it? This is why I can't take this anywhere or anything, because it's such a big piece. It's like when we've done certain events, I can take my art with me. I did take this actually to a golf, but that was a guarantee that it would be in a safe place, and because we get our own room and whatnot, so I knew that I could, you know, store it, and then if I got a call, it's not put down and in the way. It was completely away from the space I needed, so that was the first time I've actually ever taken an A3 piece away, and I was worried the whole time, granted. Produce and upload the tracking information when packing the order. What's that? Embark with an application for tracking number. Waiting 2 days later, it was delivered. That's not good, is it? You know, if they've got a lot of orders to update everybody's tracking. Because surely if you pay for like quicker delivery as well, you could go to them and say, well, you're not delivering on time because this is when you sent it out. Again, I am using a cleaner one here because this is the lower gradient, so. But I think, so different to this, because I think the picture I'm going off was like a painting. What I am going to do is kind of use like here where I've had to do for the indent, is add darker bits in throughout just to give that texture to it. Maybe Richard. Oh, had Richard ordered one as well? Oh, I didn't realise that. Wait, which Richard are we on about? You've got Richard New Junction, Richard Swiderski, who actually isn't in tonight. Oh, okay.
might be adding on to this smoke just to try and mirror it better, because here it's just the tiniest bit of smoke, but actually the whole thing goes back down the loco, and near the end actually comes further down. So I think I'm gonna add that in a bit now. Because I haven't finished the smoke yet, and might be a bit that I go back to. Change your subject, Grace and Rob. Would it be possible to pick the picture you're working on? I don't know. It's something I suppose I could talk to Rob about. It's not a bad idea actually, because then you guys know the reference I'm going off. I think on OBS, I don't know if it's just video feeds that you that's why they've done that, to show the buffer off, but it's not true to the picture. I might have to. But no, to be honest, I like that idea, Mav, but I will have to find out if we can just get a picture there, or it has to be a live feed. That is something I will have to look into, but yeah, I kind of get why the artist has actually changed it, but for me, if I'm going to make this more realistic and it's showing more of a train, then I've got to have the smoke where it is. Otherwise it's just not going to look right. Just a JPEG. Yeah, I don't know if I can do that with OBS. Oh, Gav, you'll know, won't you? Because you know OBS. But yeah, maybe it's something I could look at doing, Mav, so at least you guys can see what I'm seeing. Like I said, I can't do that on TikTok, but then it's not really proving that good on there anyway, so. At secondary school we had a Vietnamese lad join our class. He was an amazing artist and used. So cross-hatching is something that I can use possibly for darker areas, but again, it's not wanting to try these new techniques too much. Okay, Gav, so you should be able to do an insert feed like an additional camera, but the detail will be tiny as it's in the corner. Yeah, that's the thing. I know you can size it. I can look into it, Mav. I can't promise, but I know when I do post my pictures with on the social medias, I do always, not every time, but try and include the picture for reference, just to show you guys as well. Jammy Dodger was calling my name. I need to have a play with this shadow here as well because I'm not happy with the shape. Maybe I'm being a stickler for too much detail, I'm not sure. Yeah, I've put camera close to the area she's working on, kind of manual zoom. Anyway, it's just a thought. Yeah, but what I mean in the issue is if I'm using a camera to show you the feed off the iPad, it's going to be a real pain because you've got a reflection of the screen, and the problem with pictures is if I plan ahead and know, right, I'm going to work on this, but I can do a zoomed in picture or a closer in picture, but it does add more work into it and things, and obviously it's the more you add in, the less fun you have, I think. Is that possibly the best way to say about it? I hope it makes sense what I mean. So I'm actually going to do a little bit with a Thorby, I think, because this is still way too light. And I'm trying to use the picture reference to look at pictures on the colours on the loco and how dark they are and what matches. Brian, good evening, darling. Are you keeping okay? Oh, right, you might like what Gav suggested. Instead of a bar, we've come to the cafe this evening. Oh, tea room. Yeah, sorry, tea room. Grace, just had a quick check. Nobody supports picture and picture. Right, so what I could do is where I roughly want to do it, I could get a picture of it out and then slightly zoomed in, but we'd obviously have to look into it, and Rob usually sorts it out, and it might mean more bits at the bottom, which might get a bit too much. I will have a look into it though, Mav. Oh, pardon me. Sorry guys, I think I'm in a flare up again. Feeling that usual grogginess. Like I said, the coffee bar tea room will be closing at 21:30 tonight. He's just too lazy to pour a pint. Pulling pint is problem, it's changing my barrels. Yeah, I was going to say, if we go sophisticated drinking, isn't it? The women and things like Prosecco. Which I think is just a bit more bubbled wine, isn't it? Yep, let's do that. Way down barrel centre for all that salad. Thanks, Gav. I love the edited version. I do. Big thanks to everyone here. Shout out to our mod subscribers and all in the chat. Big love from Grace, who appreciate every single support. I do like that, Gav. But no, it is appreciated. Even though Gav usually has to remind me to do these things. It's why, like our mods and Gav, as part of a mods team, sometimes it's without them would just be hopeless. A ramp if you not worked up, but usually there's a hatch you have to lift them out of. Depends where I worked, you had kind of like a outside of a back. Sorry, no, Brian, it's not a problem, no, buddy. Brian, darling, you get off to bed. don't know what to do about this. I'm not overly convinced on that shadow. I've got to think about that. Because there's not really a lot of height from the top. Would a light finger rub overshadow how just a thought? No, you not quite. Which can't see. No. I sorted it out a bit better there, Dan. It's just how the original artist, again, how the original artist has done it. It's like they've taken, if they wanted to get it exactly, they haven't thought about doing that. Like, things with the shadows just don't look right. The shadows that they're drawn was like a puff of smoke coming up here, one over there. It kind of like T-shaped out, but in a curve, a bit like antlers. That's probably the best way to put it. And the smoke just kind of goes upwards, where the smoke that I'm drawing, it would look nothing like it, and surely the shadow would be exactly the same. So it's like for this, for me, again, I am looking up it close, but it could seem a bit long considering shadows usually make it look a bit bigger. So like this shape of the train, it wasn't thought of at all. So I'm having to kind of, again, do something slightly new for myself. These are things that can take people years to learn, so I'm trying to do it as I go, but also consider the side that the train would have been, which is definitely more straight than. That looks a bit better now I've done that. There we go, I'm a bit happy with that now actually. Too high. That's the other thing, is it is too high. I'm trying to sort out that. That's why it's looking a bit odd as well. Shadow was slightly curved as well. shame thing is, and this is why again it's stuffed up, is the logo itself is fairly straight. It's streamlined, but in the picture, or shadow, it's not done the best at that, so it's again trying to sort it out myself. That's what I don't need pencils for then. Oh, sorry guys, really squeaky chair tonight. Yeah, so I think we've got that managed now. I'll just use a bit of this graphite just to get some colour on this background. Because while it's minimal, we still need to see not blank white. Be careful not to press this one too hard, because again this has the, let's see there, it's literally just drawn it like it's a pencil. That is obviously part of the issue, is I am creating or looking at texture on this that is from a painting. Well, the sky itself is usually quite smooth, but again, it's all part of the lessons of it all. Like I said, I think at the end of this I am going to do like a video going I think after I will do like a video of things I've learned, things I do differently. I don't think I'm doing bad for like a first attempt kind of thing. But this in the actual needs to come darker. No, it's going to be to work my way up. Sleepers with gaps, and it just wouldn't happen. And that is what's partially caused this confusion with my lines. I know I'm not talking much, I'm just trying to get these lines in because it's been so messy with them. If I can get these lines in, it should help a long way. Yeah, this is a problem when I get hyper focused into it. Is it Grace took off one with a little finger in? Yeah, like a proper lady when drinking a cup of tea. So no, part of it, Mav, is when I'm doing that is just to try and get those straight lines, even though I've lost the lines that I was doing there. Because again, for some reason on this drawing, it shows the back line but doesn't show the back line. So line should be there. Something is not right, and this is what's been my problem with these rails. Do it for yourselves. I have to put it in reverse once. I just realised, yeah, this is the thing, but this is the problem when you get into it. But as you can see, guys, the issues I've got with these rails is just silly. It's so the rails here look quite clear, but I'm just not getting it yet. I'm trying to show this in a way that you guys will see it. Maybe I can zoom it out. There we go. But that is what I'm battling with, is these damn lines. It is really difficult because at the moment, obviously, I've got no colour between them either. He will use Alexa, yeah, unless he's looked in and seen that I was just hyper focused. Unless possibly he's just thought we usually go on till 10 with thingy. So this is the other problem. I'm half tempted when I get into my drawing. I seem to really, so I don't know. I am debating, guys, the fact that I do once a month anyway, possibly doing these drawing live streams on a Monday. And then that way, patrons and members live stream once a month, or say like if Saturday we miss, obviously, and then we'd do a stream on Tuesday. It would mean that Tuesdays are literally 3 days unless it's patron and member and fill-in. However, I'm finding out if I'm going to be working some Mondays, so I know, is there a day you guys prefer? I'm just going to end TikTok now because that's just sitting there anyway. You live match for 10 minutes? No, I don't want a live match. Whatever that is, it's not doing me any favours anyway. But yeah, is there a day in particular that you guys prefer? Because I was thinking about this about Mondays. Then I might be putting up that I work Mondays twice a month, so it's a hard one. But yeah, maybe. Oops, nearly did. Try and get rid of some of this white to explain to you guys. I think it's just purely the light reflecting off, you know. No, there you go. I don't need that for me for a minute, so I can do that to show you guys a bit of the effect. Yeah, Chris, unfortunately, you're just catching me going, darling. We are working tomorrow, and it's also an hour earlier leaving because we're at a different hospital now. But this is another reason why I'm debating some Mondays, because I've got that extra hour really, before it starts getting too late. But these rails are definitely testing me for sure. I don't know whether I just go and fill in some black to give me those filler lines or not. Because this is a problem, we've got the rail lines and which will eventually be filled in of the shadows. So I might try and start it from here as my guide point to give me which are my lines and which are the shadows. So I might use that and then work my way out. But like I said, the issue with this, again following off this artist one, because I could not find her moving on any other, is that fourth rail there. So it probably looks a bit odd in the drawing at the moment. And I might have to run black a bit down to sort that out. But I've also now got to keep my lines in angle with my actual wheels. Because again, I've got them to match this. So I know it's so slow. Chris comes in every time when I'm about to end. And on RGJ you have a habit of doing that as well, don't you, bud? But we have got a bit more to this now. So I think, yeah, I'm just going to work from the side and just work my way through now, because it might bring it a bit more. But yes, it's Sod's Law, and I'm sorry, Chris. But yeah, I think I better call this a night. The fact that we do leave earlier now for work, because we're not at our closest hospital for now, so I think I better call it a night, because get a second line, just do the running rails. Yeah, it's a hard one. I'm not too bad about them. I think it's just because I've not added shadows in yet. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to concentrate on this area to get my shadows in, so I know what is lines and what is, you know, the ground. I think that's what I need to do. So that'll probably be my next process, is start here and work out, because all these lines is where I think I'm getting lost. So go from here and use that to then guide along there. I think that's going to be the plan. So on that, guys, like I said, I better go, because otherwise I could be at this all night. This is the only problem when I start drawing with you guys for some reason. It's not a bad thing. But yes, I am going to bid you all good night and see you all on the next one. Let's see if I can get this. I can kind of, no, I lose a magnet if I do it too quick. Let's see if I can get at how it's looking totally. Does not like that white light. But I think we're starting to get something there. I think it looks a bit odd now where there's mainly that line of colour. And I'm going to fill in that top corner. But yeah, I need to go, guys. So thank you all. And see you guys hopefully Saturday night. But like I said, its priority is William. So thank you all, Nanai, and see you on the next one.